Can the legislative process be changed or reformed in the U.S.? Breaking news from Washington, D.C. The question on many people's minds today is whether the legislative process in the United States can be changed or reformed. As citizens look for answers about how laws are made, the legislative branch is under scrutiny. Recent discussions around reforming Congress have gained traction, making this topic more relevant than ever. Yes, the legislative process in the United States can be changed or reformed. However, any changes requiring action from Congress itself. The legislative branch has the authority to modify its own procedures and laws governing how legislation is created. Members of Congress can introduce bills aimed at reforming specific aspects of the legislative process or related government functions. If these bills pass both the House of Representatives and the Senate and are signed into law, they become new rules or laws that change the process. For instance, earlier this week, the House Foreign Affairs Committee advanced bills to update procedures for foreign arms sales. This reflects a legislative reform effort aimed at improving transparency and oversight. Additionally, broader legislative reforms can be pursued through bills like the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. This bill introduces significant changes in tax and employee benefit laws, showcasing Congress's ability to enact wide-ranging reforms through legislation. Reforming the legislative process itself, such as changing how bills are introduced, debated, or voted on, would require Congress to pass new rules or amend existing ones. This could involve procedural reforms within committees or on the House or Senate floors. However, such reforms often requiring negotiation and consensus among members, as changes impact how power and decision-making are distributed within Congress. Moreover, international engagement programs connect U.S. legislators with counterparts abroad to share governance practices. These interactions can influence perspectives on legislative reforms domestically. In summary, the legislative branch has the constitutional authority and practical ability to change or reform the legislative process through its own legislative actions. However, these reforms depend on political will and agreement among lawmakers. Recent examples of legislative reform efforts in specific policy areas illustrate this capacity in action.